Welcome to the Strange North channel. In this video, I'm going to show you the top 10 places to visit in Calgary, Alberta. I live in Edmonton, and there's always been a rivalry between the cities of Edmonton and Calgary, which are the two biggest cities in the province of Alberta. But honestly, Calgary is a fantastic city. There's so much to see and do there, and I'm looking forward to showing you these places. So let's get started. At number 1 is Canada Olympic Park. This is on the northwest edge of Calgary. It's a big multi-use area. It was formerly known as Paskapoo Ski Hill, and it's still a ski hill, but it's also a multi-purpose training facility and competition facility. It's open to the public, and it's also used for athletic training as well. This facility is currently operated by Winsport, and besides all the winter sports that you can do here, it's also open in the summertime, and it's very popular for mountain biking. There's a high-speed lift that takes cyclists up the hill with their bikes, and then they can bike down the various trails on this hill. During Calgary's 1988 Olympics, this was the primary venue for ski jumping, bobsled, and luge. And as well as all the outdoor activities you can do in this area, there's also a bunch of indoor fitness facilities, including a few indoor skating rinks. This area is also home to Canada's Sports Hall of Fame that not only highlights sports within Canada, but Canada's contribution to athletic events internationally. This is just a neat area to check out. There's a ton of stuff to do in the summer as well as the winter. It highlights Calgary's Olympics, and this is just a very cool area to check out. At number 2 is Kensington. This is one of my favorite little neighborhoods of Calgary. This sits directly across the Bow River to the north of Calgary's downtown area, and it's centered around the intersection of Kensington Road and 10th Street Northwest. This is just a great little neighborhood where you're going to find a really cool collection of game cafes, bookshops, coffee roasters, restaurants, and boutique shops. This is a great area for walking around, people watching, and this area is very close to downtown, so if you're in the central area and you're exploring the city, this is right across the river, and this is a really fantastic neighborhood to check out. At number 3 is the Stephen Avenue Walk. This is right in downtown Calgary, and this is really the downtown core's main pedestrian street. This is centered on 8th Avenue Southwest from about 4th Street Southwest to 1st Street Southeast. This is really downtown Calgary's main hub for restaurants, shops, entertainment venues, and just general people watching. This street is pedestrian only, so it's closed to motor vehicles, and it makes it a great area to walk around and hang out. And it's really the most vibrant, busy area of Calgary's downtown core, and it's definitely an area worth exploring. At number 4 is the Calgary Tower. If you're downtown Calgary, you have to check out the Calgary Tower. This was opened in 1968. It's a freestanding observation tower, and when it opened, it was actually the tallest building in Canada outside of Toronto. I really wish Edmonton had something like this tower. You take the elevator up and you have the most amazing views of the city. It offers 360-degree panoramic views of Calgary and the surrounding areas. It's a great spot to get pictures of the city. It also features the Sky 360 revolving restaurant that spins around 360 degrees, so you can just sit there and eat your meal and you don't even have to move. The entire restaurant will spin around and offer you these incredible views. There's also this really cool section with a glass floor that you can step on, and you can see directly down to the street below. Not only is this one of the most iconic buildings in Calgary, but it offers you the best views of the city, and I definitely recommend visiting the Calgary Tower. At number 5 is Calgary's Chinatown. Every major Canadian city has some sort of a Chinatown, and the Chinatown in Calgary is just to the east of the downtown core. Its main area is around Centre Street South, but there's a couple streets that branch off that as well. I just love this area because it adds some vibrancy and color to downtown Calgary. Like the Chinatown in Edmonton, it just adds a lot of variety, and it's a great area that highlights Calgary's Chinese culture and history. And there's a bunch of fantastic restaurants and shops in this area, and it's just a great area to walk around and visit if you're already in the downtown core. At number 6 is 17th Street Southwest. This is really the most popular, busy street for pedestrians in Calgary. This is 17th Avenue Southwest from 2nd to 14th Street Southwest. This area is known as the Retail and Entertainment District in Calgary. And when the Calgary Flames are in the playoffs, this turns into the Red Mile with a sea of red Flames jerseys and people filling the streets. This sits directly to the south of the downtown core, and this is really the best spot for checking out restaurants, pubs, nightlife, shops, entertainment venues. This is a fantastic area that has some really cool street art in the area. It's a really long street that's just great for people watching and walking around. And this is definitely a place worth visiting. There's so much to see and do here, so many places to eat, and you definitely have to check out 17th Avenue Southwest. At number 7 is Nose Hill. This is a park in Calgary's northwest side, and this is definitely a cool place to check out if you're looking for fantastic views of Calgary, or if you just want to take a hike or a bike ride. This park is cool because it highlights First Nations groups that were in the Calgary area before European settlers. There's a bunch of old teepee rings as well as evidence of buffalo hunts that took place in this area. Like I said, it's a great area for hiking and enjoying views of Calgary, and it's a great spot just to get a bit of a nature experience in the middle of the city, and it's definitely a cool place worth visiting. At number 8 is Inglewood. This is definitely a neighborhood you have to check out. Inglewood is the oldest neighborhood in Calgary. It's centered around 9th Avenue Southeast, and the main area is about from 8th Street to 15th Street Southeast. This sits to the east of downtown Calgary, and in my Haunted Calgary video, I highlighted a few locations in Inglewood. This neighborhood has a fantastic collection of eclectic shops, rare vinyl, unique restaurants and cafes, and indie fashion stores. This is a great area for walking around, for checking out an old section of Calgary, and there's always something to see and do. And so if you're in Calgary, you can't miss taking a walk through Inglewood. At number 9 is the Calgary Zoo. This is one of Calgary's biggest attractions. It's Canada's most visited zoo, and it's actually one of the top zoos in the world. This is a world-class facility. It has a fantastic selection of animals from around the world, but also some that are native to Canada as well. And this is a really fun way to spend a day in Calgary. There's a ton of animals to see, and there's even a section of the zoo called the Prehistoric Park, which features a bunch of animatronic dinosaurs that pay homage to the massive fossil deposits that have been found throughout southern Alberta. And if you're visiting Calgary for the first time, you could do worse than take a trip over to the Calgary Zoo. And at number 10 to close out our list is the original Peter's Drive-In location. I was reluctant to list an individual restaurant on this list, but Peter's is so iconic in Calgary, and you definitely have to check it out if you're visiting the city for the first time. This place was started by Dutch immigrant Gus Peters in 1962, and it's since become one of the most iconic places in Calgary. They have a fantastic selection of delicious milkshakes as well as your typical burgers, fries, and hot dogs. This place has become so popular that there are now locations in Red Deer and Edmonton as well. And I live in Edmonton, and I gotta say, the Edmonton location is constantly busy. My dad grew up in Calgary, and every time he took us to Calgary when I was a kid, we always had to stop at the Peter's Drive-In. I loved it the first time I went there, and I love it still. This is one of the best places in Calgary. Every time I'm in the city, I make sure I grab a burger and a milkshake here, and if you're visiting Calgary, you can't miss Peter's Drive-In. So that was the top 10 places to visit in Calgary, Alberta. I hope that gave you a couple ideas if you're new to Calgary or if you plan on visiting the city at some point in the future. And of course, I couldn't include all of the cool areas to visit in Calgary in this video, and so down the road, I'm gonna do another video of more places to visit in Calgary. And if you're interested in watching more of my videos, please subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna be uploading at least one new video per week. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you next time on the Strange North channel.